How do you beat the Sicilian Najdorf defense, one of the best chess openings for black? But also, how do you beat one of the best Sicilian players in the world? The Sicilian is one of the most popular chess openings. Let's begin. Let's get some moves on the board and then I will introduce the players. We have e4, c5, knight f3, d6 and d4, the open Sicilian. Take, knight f6, knight c3 and a6. We have the Sicilian Najdorf. I'm always excited to see this opening being played at the highest level because I play this opening with black and I also play it if I want to take it on with the white pieces. Introducing the players, we have Lenier Dominguez from Cuba, now plays for the US, versus MVL, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, French #1. Bishop e3, e5 and knight b3, so this is the setup. I'm going to recommend you play in your own games, 2 knights in front of the king, because you're going to castle queenside. Bishop e6, f3, we have a pawn chain, all the pawns defend each other. Bishop e7, queen d2, queen and bishop work well together, castle, and here we go. Knight bd7, typical move in the Najdorf, the 2 knights defend each other. g4, b5, g5, 3 options. You can move the knight back, you can counter attack the white knight, or you can play knight h5, which is what MVL played. Putting the knight on the edge of the board is fine in this line because you are stopping white getting their h-pawn up the board fast. King b1. Normal good move in the Sicilian, you put your king in front of the 3 pawns, knight b6. In this opening, in this video, I'm going to focus on talking about squares. When we look at black's position, black is controlling the c4 square 3 times with the pawn, knight and bishop. Now white plays knight a5 to control it twice with the knight and the bishop. Rook c8. If we look at this position, white is controlling the d5 square 4 times. Knight, pawn and the queen and the rook, whereas black is only controlling it twice. So really the d5 square belongs to white, and now he plays knight d5. There is a tactic coming up, but I feel overall the tactic worked out well in this game for white. Now this knight looks very dangerous, so we take it. And after take, if you play a move like bishop f5 or bishop d7, then the knight can come into c6. And when the queen moves out the way, this knight is so strong. And already it looks like something's gone terribly wrong for black, because there's a knight on c6. That's why in this position there's a nice tactic. Bishop takes d5. This tactic wins a pawn because after queen takes bishop, queen takes knight. You're up a pawn, but the truth is, white is so strong on the light squares because white has this bishop. It is worth being down a pawn in these kind of positions. You've given up a pawn, but you've got a bishop that controls the squares your opponent cannot. So this is a high level idea. Sacking a pawn for square control. c4. The best move in this position, I would say, for black is to go pawn backwards. Pawn back to e6 to attack the queen. And I don't really care that black is up a pawn because it's just so difficult to move. If we talk about the psychology of this position, why do we play the Sicilian? It's to get aggressive, attacking, dynamic positions. But if we look at this position, it's not really that aggressive for black. By the way, in this position, I would have played bishop d3, just facing the king. But Dominguez had this idea, c4. Can't take, your queen is hanging. So what does black do here? He plays queen a4. Oh no, he goes knight f4 first. Okay, cut that bit. Black now plays knight f4. This knight is doing nothing, so knight f4, take, and h4. If we consider this position, this bishop is terrible, this bishop is going to be amazing. The truth is, it doesn't even feel like white is down a pawn because white's got more active pieces. h4, queen a4, good move. The queen attacks the rook and this pawn twice. Now it is possible to open the file, but it's almost a disaster because of this trap, queen c2 check. And we have back rank mate. We can all blunder mate on the back. So that's why white didn't open the file, he just went bishop d3. Black has got their pawn back, but there's a really cool move here. I want to invite you to pause the video now, 5 seconds, or just let it run. Can you see a brilliant move here for white? The brilliant move is Queen e4. Let me explain every arrow. So we've got mate on h7. We are also attacking the bishop, but at the same time, we are stopping this pawn taking the bishop because black's queen is under attack. So queen e4 is a great move. It's probably the move of the game. g6, you block it, and now you just tuck back. Queen moves back. h5, let's get the attack going. Queen e6 offering a queen trade? No. Taking on g6 first, and then taking on f4. White is about to checkmate black in a couple of moves. Queen h4, mate on the h file. So it goes queen e5 offering a trade, nope, and queen g7 covers the squares. Rook d2, great move. Not only do you go for mate, you also defend along the second rank. So it's a multi-purpose move. Rook c5, you attack the pawn twice, but you defend it with f4, f6, breaking up the structure. But this does allow white in. Rook h2. Take, and now, really cool move. This type of move is probably one of the most difficult moves to see in chess because it's a backward move. We're not going to play the obvious capture. We're going to go queen e1. With this move, you're planning to come in with check. Also, rook h8, rook h7 is dangerous as well. Queen e1 and black is busted. Bishop f6. Rook h6, planning to take because black has another weakness. This bishop is much stronger than that bishop. MVL, he just wanted to get the queen out of the way, so queen b7 played. But queen e6 check, closing in on the king, and black resigned. So what happens if we play on a few moves? If you go rook f7, check. If king here, you lose a bishop. Or hang on, you lose a rook. Oh, careful, let's go back. I was being a bit careless there. Let's play check first, because after this, then we come back. That's better. Let's say you block with the queen. Now we have this really cool checkmate. So that is how you beat the Sicilian defense. If you guys want to stick around, I've got a couple of opening video suggestions over here. This is YouTube's suggestion. If you don't like that one, you might prefer this one. How to play the Sicilian. Thanks for watching.